Welcome to the Something About Yarn podcast. This is going to be a little bit of a different kind of episode this week just because I'm kind of short on time and energy and brain power. So sorry for not doing an episode last week. It was just crazy. Work's been stressful and I I couldn't find the time, and everything, that I normally do just didn't work, and it's just like, oh man, oh gosh. Okay, so anyway, I'm here with kind of a short episode this week, just because I don't want to leave you guys hanging for 2 weeks in a row, and so it's gonna be a little bit different, but hopefully you guys can forgive me while I kind of go through some kind of stressful stuff. And then also, like I said, the only thing that I've been knitting has been a design that I cannot show. So yeah, my knitting time has been pretty limited and just haven't gotten done what I wanted to get done. But anyway, I had a giveaway for hitting 200 followers on Instagram, and I said that I would be announcing it yesterday, and I plumb forgot. So I figured, hey, I probably should have planned to do it this way anyway, just because it would be really cool, and so I'm doing it. But anyway, I decided to go ahead and do it today here on the podcast. I went to Instagram and counted the number of unique commenters, so not including mine, obviously, because I had a total of 27 comments. And so I went through and counted the ones that were actually questions and stuff, and the number was 9. I had 9 unique people comment questions. So I went to Google. I did a Google search on a random number picker. This popped up, so I put in a minimum of 1 and a maximum of 9. And I hope this is focusing, and I hope it's not totally overexposed, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit generate, and we'll see what number it is. Number 3. Okay, so now I'm gonna pop back over to Instagram and count down from the top the number. So number 1, 2, 3. It is Knit MKE. That is the winner account, and her name is Megan. And congratulations, you won any 2 of my patterns from my Ravelry shop. So go ahead and message me on there which ones you would like. You can find them at the link in my profile under the link tree. Go ahead and take a look at that and let me know which 2 you would like. And I will get those. And then also tell me your Ravelry username. I'll get those gifted to you on Ravelry this week. So I'm excited to see which patterns you choose. And thank you guys so much, everybody who commented and gave me great questions. I'm actually going to be going through those here on the podcast in this episode, just because I feel like that's about all I have to go on for material this week. So it's going to be a little bit cut short, like I said, but hopefully it'll be interesting because you guys, I got some really cool questions and I'm excited and eager to dig into those. So let's get started. First up is Caged Faith. Ask me, what is your favorite type of thing to knit? Socks, sweaters, shawls, etc. That's a really good question. I am kind of torn because I love knitting shawls. That's probably what I've knit the most of, but I also enjoy cardigans a lot, which is why I accidentally ended up with three technically on the needles at one time, which is, you guys remember that if you've been following me from the last few episodes where I've been talking about Campside, the Mecha cardigan. I think I said that right. Oh my gosh. Anyway, and then the new design that I'm doing in cameo yarns. So, but then also, knitting, finishing 2 pairs of socks in the last couple of months, I've actually really realized how much I really do enjoy knitting socks, especially on the 9-inch circulars that I've been talking about. So I'm really torn. Probably shawls and sweaters. I would probably have to say, with shawls being my number 1, sweaters being my number 2. I would say. So that's not one favorite type, but oh well. All right, next question is Jessie B878. Ask me, who taught me to knit? Oh yeah, that's a good question. So I taught me to knit. Well, technically a book taught me to knit. My mom got me a book at Walmart and some little boy brand aluminum needles. Not pointy, they caused all kinds of problems, but I kept with it and I really liked it. Put it down because I found crochet and one stitch on the hook instead of all the stitches on the needles. Kind of like, oh, okay, I can deal with this better. I loved that. Then I started bumping up against walls and being like, oh, I really can't do a whole lot with crochet, because this was back in 2007. Oh, the heater's about to kick on. Sorry guys if it becomes a little bit of a background noise. But it's cold down here. So anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so decided to go back to knitting and just took off with it, and that was officially I learned to knit in 2007. I really say that I really picked it up a lot more in 2009, and that's when I started designing technically, even though I didn't release my first pattern until January 2010 on Ravelry. So just a little bit of history there in case I haven't covered it on the blog or the podcast, or for any new viewers watching. So yeah, great question. Next up, we have the winning question, Knit MKE, Megan. She said, I just found your podcast and I'm so glad I did. What has been the most challenging thing about starting the podcast and the most rewarding? Sorry, I know that's 2 questions, LOL. So really, really good. I am so glad you asked, and I'm so glad that you are taking the time to listen to me kind of just say whatever's in my head. So I appreciate your time and just hanging out with me and taking the time to comment, and congrats again on winning. So the most challenging thing about starting my podcast has been getting up the courage to put my face out there, because I'm, like I said, in the first couple when I was like super awkward, and I still am, so and also having the confidence to feel that I have something interesting that somebody wants to hear, or that anybody wants to hear, that I'm not just like boring and oh, somebody's already said what you said, why are you saying it, kind of thing, that I can be worth somebody's time, listening to me, watching me, that kind of thing. And it really is, it's been a lot of growth in myself, because I've really been wanting to podcast for about 4 or 5 years, and I just hadn't had the courage, because it's been a process. I'm very self-critical and down on myself just due to different things that happened during my childhood and into my young adult and adult lives. Whoa. Yeah, well, I always joke that my curiosity is like a cat and I'm on my 9th life, but anyway, so yeah, just having the ability to look at my knitting journey and my design journey and say, you know what, there's at least one person out there who will enjoy what I had to say and who I might be able to enrich their lives. So it's like, okay, it's worth it, so that's what was the most challenging. I would say the most rewarding thing is connecting with people like you guys who are so awesome and want to engage with me and go on this knitting journey with me, and just being able to open my heart and my eyes and my mind and accept everybody into my little circle. Teeny circle at this point, but I have a place for everybody, and just being able to share knitting and share my journey like that is just, yeah, that makes it worth all the awkwardness and the weirdness that I feel about talking to the back of my cell phone. All right, so next up is Mrs. Meadows. She asks, well, she said, I haven't had a chance to listen yet. Hope you have by now. Yay. She asked me, what makes your podcast stand out from the others? I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe, I don't know. So I'm going to flip that around, and I'm going to ask you guys as the viewers, does my podcast stand out from any others, or like from the others that are out there? And if so, I would love to know how and why, and whatever else you think you want to tell me, because I would like feedback. And if you feel that something about me and my podcast is unique, I would love to know, because I do feel like I'm just one in a sea of so many podcasts out there. And, if there is something unique about me that might make me a little bit more confident and kind of, so I'm going to turn that around, and you guys can answer me on Instagram, here on YouTube, on the Ravelry group, however you want to get in touch with me. Comment on the blog. I'll probably, you know, I'll have a blog post announcing this episode and stuff like that. And then also, you know, I'll announce it on Instagram as well. So let me know, because I would really, really appreciate that kind of, you know, time on your part to, you know, to think about it and tell me. So, and then she also goes on to ask, why do you knit? That is, what drives your passion? I love making things. The app and the process. I just realized. Yeah. I just love the excitement of starting a new project, the satisfaction of finishing something, of enjoying it in my everyday life or giving it to somebody else to enjoy. So, and then also, you know, on the design front, designing patterns that help knitters grow and learn and give them hours of enjoyment when they're making it, and then years of enjoyment, and you know, with the finished product, where, hey, I didn't know how to do this or this, and your pattern taught me how to do that. I love it. And I love the process of using other people's patterns to learn things that I didn't know how to do. So that's really cool too. Good question. Next up is Sammy Nell 91 asks, is there anything you would like to knit again? I've been thinking about that since she asked me 3 days ago. I think I'd like to knit another lemon tree shawl. I was originally really liking the fade. I don't know if I'll knit another one just because it is so huge, but I think I might do a smaller version of Find Your Fade or Wet the Fade, or like whichever, which one is it? Anyway, it's the other shawl that she did where you can do the different, I have it on Ravelry, I just don't remember the name. I'll link to it in the description. But the one where you can do different weight yarns and stuff, so maybe do like a smaller version, but in like a sport weight or a DK weight, so it's a little bit fluffier without being so massive. So that would probably be, I'm sure there's another one. I might knit another Thunderstorm Toque by Abby Knits. Might do that again. That was a lot of fun with all the cables. Although she has some other patterns that I'm really interested in too, so I don't know. I rarely knit the same thing twice unless it's a pair, and even then I have trouble with it, just because I always like to be on to the next thing, the next color, the next texture, the next technique. You know, it's the same thing, and that's part of the reason I have trouble finishing designs sometimes too. So, but there are a few patterns, as I mentioned, that have stood out and been, oh, that was really a lot of fun. Oh, I did knit 2 hitchhiker shawls. I did knit 2 of those, so that was cool. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. All right, next up, Nitrous asked, what is the most intriguing pattern that you have ever completed? Intriguing. That is an interesting description. Which facet of the word intriguing should I? Oh goodness, I'm trying to think of all the patterns, you know, the different patterns that I've made. Okay, so I think the most intriguing pattern that I've completed that was by somebody else was probably going to be the Oak Trail by Alana. I think her last name is pronounced Dacos, Alana Dacos, I don't know. But it's the Oak Trail. The construction of that pattern is so cool. If you ever have the opportunity to knit one of those, do it. It's so worth it. And then, well, intriguing. So that was the construction was really intriguing. The mystery side of intriguing that could be taken from that word would probably be the Ugly Christmas Sweater Socks by the Hey Sister Yarn Company. Yeah, that was a fun knit. The mystery of it, just like all the different yarns that they included. So that would be my favorite on that front. So I'm turning this into a multifaceted question. And then as far as my favorite pattern, like the most intriguing pattern that I have ever completed as a designer, probably my Scythor gloves, or, oh goodness, maybe Travelogue. I don't know. I think Scythor is definitely one of the most unique designs that I've done. So maybe that. I'm not sure. That's really a thought-provoking question. Like, I really, really like that question. That's good. Sorry I took so long to answer it. Next. Okay, we've got Coffee Loves Yarn asked 2 things. Cheater. Let's see. Okay, I had to find the second one. Okay, she asked, what's your favorite yarn and how many whips do you currently have? My favorite yarn, I'm not 100% sure. For the Love of Fiber February challenge, did I say that right? For the Love of Fiber February. Yes, I did. I thought I got tongue-tied, but I didn't. Wow, okay. I mentioned that my favorite yarn right now is like my Destiny sock or maybe my Destiny DK, which is Annie yarn, which I'm not dyeing right now, but I used to. But they're both MCN blends that I love. Right now I'm knitting with the skein of Pashmina on a project, and the MCS blend, Merino Cashmere Silk blend, is amazing. So I would probably say my favorite yarn is a blend of Merino Cashmere Nylon or Merino Cashmere Silk, depending on the occasion. So, but I don't have enough of it. I wish I had more. I really... Anyway, so yeah, and then how many whips do you currently have? Well, according to Ravelry, let me pop over to Ravelry. I have 3? No, I have a couple hibernating. If you count hibernating, I don't know if you meant for me to count hibernating. Oh, I only have 1 hibernating technically. Just 1. Okay, so that's cool. Yeah, so 1 hibernating, 3 currently going, and then 1 mystery that I cannot say anything about. So technically 5, but I'm thinking the one that's hibernating, I'm kind of rethinking because it's a design in progress and I'm not 100% sure that I like how I started it, so I may frog it and restart the design. So for all intents and purposes, put that aside, technically 4. 2 cardigans, 1 shawl, and the mystery thing. So let me pop back over to Instagram. All right. Sandwich Stitches asked, I just found you and I'm glad I did. Is there anything you really hate to make? Probably the second object in a pair. Of anything. Sleeve, sock, glove. Is that it? I think that's it. Anyway, the second of anything. I have, like I said, I have a hard time doing a repeat, which is crazy because I love knitting and designing and wearing fingerless gloves. And you technically have to make a pair. Go figure. But, so yeah, aside from that, I mean, probably, I'd say sleeves. They just seem to go on forever, although they are going faster now that I'm using smaller circulars to do them, so maybe that'll kind of revolutionize that for me. I don't know. But other than that, I can't really think of anything that I truly hate making. Sorry if the camera's shaking, I just realized that I'm up against the desk. Oops. Okay, so next, actually the last question is Soccer Mom Knits asked, if I could knit anything with Mrs. Weasley's knitting technique, what would I knit? Oh, I love this question. And as I said on Instagram when I saw it, mind blown. Like, oh my gosh, what would I knit? A throw, like 10 different Brooklyn tweed pullovers, and a couple more Find Your Fade. Because if it's just sitting there over there in the corner doing its thing, I would knit all the big things, like all the most difficult, beautiful, in-depth, time-consuming things. And then I would save my hands for the fun things that I enjoy. So, yeah, that's what I would do. That is totally what I would do. Because, yeah, that would be so cool. Oh my gosh. That would be so freaking cool. If only. So, yeah, that was a lot of really fun questions. I am excited to have like that feeling of dialogue going on. So Yay, thank you guys. Thank you for helping me get to over 200 followers. I'm really excited. Wow, this is gonna be a lot of fun. This is gonna be a good process. You know, just growing and learning and getting to know you guys. It's just, yeah, I find a lot of satisfaction from it. So it's good. It's really good. So thank you guys for your time, and I'm thinking that I will do another giveaway at 300 followers. So not sure what that'll be. I do have some ideas for little Notion type things that I'd like to start making in my spare time, just to have something fun to do and maybe put them on Etsy or something. So I used to make wire wrapped like handmade stitch markers, like with natural beads and Swarovski crystals and stuff like that. So let me know if you guys might be interested in me kind of dabbling in that again. Because when I sold them, I mean, people really liked them, and you know, I make them well. You know, it's not like they're the kind that, you know, like the ring opens and can snag the yarn and stuff like that. So because I hand wire wrapped them myself very, very neatly. So anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think about me starting to do that again, because I think it would be a lot of fun. You know, it would take away from my knitting time, but you know, like when I'm home and stuff, but it would be a fun diversion, something else that I can do and kind of, you know. Anyway, yeah, let me know. And then I also have some other ideas, but I'm still very much in the product development, like I don't know if this is even going to work kind of thing. I have some materials, I just haven't sat down and actually like put together what I want to do to test it out and stuff. But I'm sure I'll talk about it here on the podcast, on the blog, Instagram, blah, 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 you know, all the places. So anyway, my design that is a secret is going well, as I mentioned on Instagram, so I should be done with that this week. Really crossing my fingers on that. And yes, one of them has a band-aid because I hurt myself. I was gonna have my wrist brace on just because I almost forgot to take it off. I tweaked my wrist actually like last November, and I just kept hurting it again accidentally. So I finally got a wrist brace. So I almost forgot to take it off when I was filming, and I thought, oh, that'd be really tacky. So anyway, total ramble there, sorry. But yeah, I don't even remember where I was going with that. Oh yeah, I'm crossing my fingers that I'll be able to finish that design this week. I think I'm probably about 60% finished with it. So just got to get it finished knitting. Ow, my ankle popped, sorry. Finished with the knitting, finished writing the pattern, and then I'm done. So yay. And it has to be a secret because I'm submitting it for publication. If it doesn't get in, I won't tell you where I submitted it, but if it doesn't get in, at least I have a finished design that I can send to test knitters and tech editor and release. So either way, you guys win. So anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there. Just, you know, say goodbye or goodnight or whatever. Well, of course, when you watch this, it might not be night. It is night for me, though. It is actually 10:34 p.m. So, and I have no idea how long I've been talking. So, anyway, yeah, congrats again on winning the patterns, and don't forget to get in touch with me and give me your Ravelry name. So, I look forward to the next one, and like I said, hopefully next week I will have a little bit more to talk about and can do a regular formatted episode. In the meantime, keep the questions coming. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying getting to know you guys and sharing my knitting life with you. And I hope you guys have a really wonderful week and enjoy your knitting. And I look forward to seeing you guys again. Thanks again so much for taking the time to hang out with me. I'll see you next time. Bye.